I want to talk about between me. The most exciting thing between me and you is your newfound desire to push the business forward. Your newfound desire to like fix every part of the funnel. Get more guys in, lower level, get more guys, in at the top level where you could do the most help. I like the idea of the lower cost like option for like helping guys like who can't afford the serious fucking hardcore help. And like Taylor said this, I want to reiterate this. It doesn't come across how obsessed and involved you are in the high level stuff in the top end coaching. It doesn't come across. There is no way to capture it in a way that there's no way to capture how involved you are in the coaching. And you can get every guy to come on this channel and say how involved you are, and it still doesn't really get across until these guys pay the money and come and experience it for themselves. It just doesn't come across like that. I say this as someone who's seen you. I say this as someone who's seen you get more involved. Like I've seen you from nearly the beginning to now, and how like you've gone like 400% in on like making sure you affect every guy's life who comes into the group, and like the degree to which you go is mental. So I don't know how we communicate that. Like, if there's any way to communicate that, if maybe it's not something.
I've already decided we're rebranding. So everybody listening, this might be mildly interesting for all of you. So the coaching program that we have right now, the big hardcore $11,000, although there's a discount right now, it's $9,000 if you sign up in the next 20 days. But that big program, I'm going to rebrand it to call it one-on-one coaching, because that's what it is right now. I think most people hear about the program and they're like, oh, it's a group coaching program. It's like, there is a group attached to the program, but you are getting one-on-one coaching with Andy. You're also getting one-on-one input with Taylor. You can sometimes answer people's questions like one-on-one, but you're more there to run the group and stuff like that. Ed as well will give input, but like you are literally getting one-on-one coaching from Andy.
I run the calls. I would say the most from me personally, the most you're going to get is on the call, where I will do the most input. Like that's been you and me, how you and me have like sailed into it. Is that I show up for the call, I run the call. So Andy, I run the call, I run the boring parts of the call, so Andy can just kind of focus on coaching essentially, and like keeping it running and giving my 2 cents, etc. But yeah, we settled on this idea of like we you and me are gonna. But yeah, like the group is essentially just just access to Andy.
It's one-on-one
like
access
direct
to me.
access whenever.
And I've never phrased it as that, and I don't think any of you sort of understand that's what because that's me. I've never fucking said that, but it's one-on-one coaching. Because I talked to some other people that have coaching programs, like coaching programs bigger than mine, and I've had a couple of mentors now that have specifically said, dude, what you're doing is called a one-on-one coaching program. Why do you keep calling it a group coaching program? And I was like, because there's a group included where they can all talk to each other. And they're like, yeah, that's called a group support system. Like, but you are doing one-on-one coaching. You are one-on-one coaching these guys and occasionally these girls. You are literally recording them hour-long voice messages every fucking day. You are writing 20 paragraphs to every post that they make. That's called one-on-one access. You get on a call with them.
I would call it direct access.
To you. Yeah, direct access to Andy. And so
I would push back here. I think we just drop the one-on-one versus group shit. Just drop that branding entirely. It's called this is the direct access group to Andy. Yeah, we call this direct access. This is the direct access to Andy group. Like this, if you come in here, you get direct access to Andy. That's like the whole point. He will pour his heart and soul into helping you. He'll know all your goals directly. He'll know who you are. You will talk to him on a call once a week
daily,
and we give every guy like it is. Sorry, and daily and etc. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of extra help that goes into it. Like you said, Taylor's very committed to like leaving the big voice notes and like really getting in the weeds in a way that like is good, because I wasn't there to pick up the slack a lot. And then Ed's been like, what I mean? That there's times when we've been busy and like Taylor's really stepped up. So like there's really like good that you're growing more coaches. Like you are watering. You've put Taylor in some soil and just started watering, and like encouraged him to grow, which is great.
The idea is this new program that we're bringing in, which is going to be much more affordable for anyone that wants it. You're not getting direct access to me. Like I will be there. I'm going to jump on a call with all of you once a week and answer all your questions and all of that. So I am your coach, but you're going to have an assigned coach who's assigned to you, who will jump in there 3 times a week in your log, like you specifically, and push you specifically. and then he will do a call as well as the call that I'm doing. And then as we add more coaches, there'll be more calls each week. So maybe one day we get to a point where there's 5 coaches. You get to go to 5 fucking calls each week, which one of them will be with me. We're going to have weekly challenges in there, like, go out and do this drill, go out and practice this, go do this. There'll be a community, all of that sort of stuff. I'm going to build a video library as well, almost like an approach anxiety program, but for your mindset. Like, here's 5 drills I want you to go out and do today that will help you build a positive mindset. Here's how to approach strangers, not necessarily to hit on them, although there will be some of that too. But here's how we can like start building that unshakable confidence. So yeah, we're putting it all together. The idea that you've given me many times, Taylor has told me, and Ravi and other people, is like, give an insane amount of value, like over deliver, which I think, like you already said, I think we do that in our big we do that in our big coaching program right now. It's just that I haven't marketed it very well and said, you're getting direct access to me, and what is that worth to you? If you want that, then take that. So yeah, man, I'm kind of excited. It feels nice. Like I said this in a previous video. It feels nice to be able to give something to all the people that are like, bro, I want access to you. I want coaching, but I can't pay $11,000. That's insane. So it's like a nice little thing that we're sliding in underneath that price point.
Nice. Yeah, I'll be as involved as you want me to be in like anything building
Oh,
forward.
yeah,
I would always like to be more indexed towards your stuff. It's just a case of like, for me, it's been like trying to figure out where my time goes. I'm in terms of what I'm doing, like I'm just like spread across like loads of stuff. It'll be good within. I've told you before. I can't really talk about this, but like there's stuff going on over the next like 6 to 8 months that would really focus me if it finally goes through. But like I have to basically I have no control over what's happening. I only have control over my side. I just don't have control. What's happening is incredibly impactful, and I have no say in what happens or how fast it happens. I'm just waiting for something to happen, and after it happens, I have a lot more potential leeway to control my future and my income and all that stuff. But until it happens, I'm kind of stuck in limbo and stretched quite thin across a lot of stuff. But I always, you're passionate about what you're doing. I've been working with you since 2021. I think we started you
it's
dragged
been
me
a
into
while,
the call.
brother. It's been like
The growth.
4 or 5 years.
Like,
yeah.
Against I didn't give you any consent either. You just kind of just did it, and then it was like,
Fuck
Cameron, you're a
off.
coach now.
Fuck off.
It was like second year of COVID,
But
I
yeah.
think. I can't actually fully remember exactly what it was. Because I was your forum bitch, and then I was your cool bitch, and then now I'm just, drifting around. But yeah, it would be nice to. At the same time, I'm like relaunching my YouTube channel, which is sat at like 1,200 subscribers or whatever. So I'm like trying to get back on that and do more work on that around style, aesthetic, and then it involves doing a lot of content. It'd be nice to get back in. I asked you for this call, like, can we do this? 'Cause I need to get back into the swing of like chatting and doing content, like putting my words into audible form and delivering them on a video. I just deconstructed that, but that is, that's what we're doing. So like, if you don't do this regularly, you get out of the swing, and like
you get rusty.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you don't have sex for 6 months. You know what I mean? You are rusty. Like you're just gonna be a little bit rusty the first time or first 2 times, and then it's like you gotta get back into the swing. You gotta you're gonna have resistance. I had resistance to turning the camera on again, which is fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like you get that if you don't do it for a while. We live in a world now where like the algorithms are like regular content is what they want, and like you have the option to give it to them or not give it to them. You know what I mean? You have the option to like feed like the algorithm what it wants or like what it's been coded for, and like you can choose not to if you want to, or you can choose to do it. And we just play the same. We're all playing the same game. You know what I mean? Like you've made the move to try and do stuff that brings in more people, like recently.
Correct.
Whereas you were not doing that for a while.
Correct. Yeah.
You had more of an opinion of like, I want to do what I want to do only.
Yeah. If I do video topics on certain topics, like all of you probably know this because you click on the fucking videos. So it only takes like half a second to think about what you click on, most of you. And you probably click on videos that are a little bit more towards sex or BDSM or kink. If it has a pretty lady in the thumbnail, you'll click on that way more. I do the same thing. Like I'm a human, I'm a male, I like pretty ladies. If I do a video that's on meditation, like a guided meditation. That will be genuinely helpful for the people that watch it, but only like 1/5 as many people watch it. So I'm still going to do that content. I like doing it, but I think it's been more like adding in more of the sex and BDSM and that type topics that has helped, or thinking a little bit more in terms of like, what do people actually want? That's how I try and think of it. I try not to think of it in terms of like clicking or like what's going to get the most views, because then I could just do some drama content and that would get insane views. I'm trying to think like, what do people actually want to fucking click on? Like, what do you guys actually want? And it is, generally speaking, more like sexual based content. So yeah, that's like kind of the topics I've been adding in a little bit more of, and they've been doing well, man. And yeah, having fun with that. And you asked, or this podcast was originally like plans. Maybe let's do this in a separate video, bro. But I want to like very briefly talk about, I'm so excited to travel next year. I sent you a message the other day and I was like,
Mm.
bro, can we talk about travel at some point? Because I haven't basically traveled much in the last like
Yeah. And I told you let's record a
5
video about
years.
helping you plan.
Yeah, I reckon we sit down and we do that. And it's like, where you say to me, Andy, where do you want to go? Where do you want to travel to? Guys, all of you listening, maybe we can do this as a live stream and all of you can give your input too and be like, Andy, have you thought about this country? And then we can like live on stream, Google it and check it out and shit like that. Like you guys can help me plan
Have you
traveling.
not flown since the COVID flight, since the flight from Melbourne to Brisbane?
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was in
And
21. That was
before
in
that,
2021.
yeah, and so before that, like years ago, I'd only really done bits and pieces of traveling. I've been to Malaysia for like a month. I went to Indonesia for a couple of weeks. I went to Singapore in the airport for about 3 hours on a layover, and that's it.
Doesn't count.
I've never.
Does not count. We're
Yeah,
not doing
I know,
layovers.
but hey,
I've been to a lot of
I
countries where we do layovers.
I was in the airport. I was technically in Singapore, but yes, I know.
No,
And
no,
so I've
you
only
weren't
really
out.
been
You
to like,
didn't leave. You didn't leave the international airspace.
I
You
know
don't count.
it doesn't count. I couldn't leave the international airspace. Like I wasn't allowed to because I didn't have like a fucking travel or whatever you need visa. I don't even know what it's called. That's how little I travel. Visa, fucking passport.
I've been
I
to
had a
Kuala
passport.
Lumpur for like 2 days.
On a layover that was allowed me out of the airport, so I do count Kuala Lumpur because I technically went into a hotel
That
and then
counts.
like
That
was
counts.
in
Yeah.
Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That counts. Yeah.
I haven't done much Asia.
Yeah,
You've
man,
done you have an eye to. I know this will preview it a little bit, but I know you have an eye towards Asia, and I'm just like the wrong
I wanna
person
go
to
to
talk to about Asia.
I want to go to Asia.
You went to Russia.
My
Russia's
friend,
technically
I have a
Asia.
friend, I have a friend Jimmy who's in Thailand right now. He's loving that, so maybe I'll go visit him if he's still living there. At that point, he moved
Your
his
black friend,
business
Jimmy.
overseas.
Your one black friend that makes you like okay with
Okay.
everything else you say
I
about.
don't see race. You clearly do. I just see the human being and what's inside of them. I see the content of their heart. Okay, and if that happens to be a black heart, do black people have black hearts? How does this work? I'm gonna text Jimmy right now. Is your heart black? We're just gonna leave that in, are we? We're just gonna let that sit there, let that marinate. But yeah, man, I am so fucking excited to travel. I'd love for all of you listening.
Yeah.
We can do a live stream. You guys can tell me where to go. I'm not saying I'll go everywhere you tell me, but like, why not? Might be fun. So that's on the
Yeah.
cards. After
So
that, I don't
I'm
know.
curious, then. What do you want from me as you build further now?
Sex, but you don't fucking give that to me. So outside of that, what?
Would you like me to be? Would you like me to be more involved like I was before, versus have the pulled away version of, or do you want me to be free to be frolicking around doing what I want? I guess you do want that, but like, is there
I
part
want
of you
you
that
to
like,
do
oh, I
whatever
wish
you want, yeah.
it'd be nice if.
I don't have a preference.
Yeah.
I want you to
That's
do
cool.
whatever you want. Like, if you want to be more involved in the business, then we'll make that work. I'll be grateful for that. If you don't want to be because you're doing your own shit, then I'll be grateful for that, and I'll just appreciate the friendship. I don't have any preferences. Like,
Okay.
this definitely isn't something.
You don't want me more involved. Okay, that's fine. If you don't have any preferences, that means you don't want me more involved. This is like, it's like a neutral thing.
Everybody listening right now, which one of us is the female in the relationship, and which one of us is me?
The one who doesn't say what he thinks is. I guess it would be. Yeah, I guess I would be. I don't know. Yeah.
Bro, okay, getting off topic here, but yeah, you can just identify basically anything as masculine or anything as feminine, and then attach to that.
You can.
Women
yeah.
always do this. Men always do this. Like, okay, so here's the big one. Do you remember how many times I said to you, or I used to think like men don't flake? it's only women that flake. And it was only when I really started building this business
But
with
you
you that I was like,
flaked. You can't say that, and you're like,
that's what I mean. That's
ca-
what I mean.
You
It's like
flaked on
men
dates.
flake. I flake. Yeah. But when we do it, we're like, no, that doesn't count. It's women who flake. And women do the same shit. I've had conversations with women where they're like, women don't flake, men flake. And I'm like, when was the last, like, tell me the most recent time you went to hang out with your friends and then you just said last minute, oh, I'm sorry, I can't make it. And then she's like, oh, God, yeah, you're right. And it's like, we all do this shit. It's just that we say the opposite gender does. So,
The other thing,
yeah,
the other
I
thing is
take
like
back
you and I do not ghost, and we do not just let things like fall off. And
ghost each
maybe
other
we
or
can.
ghost to other people. I've
You
been
don't ghost
trying to
me
ghost
either,
you
but
for
like
years, brother, but you just keep
because
texting me back, and then I feel like I have to reply.
if you're texting, it doesn't matter. If you and I don't ghost, and we are like opposed to the idea of it. We're like, oh, we're not gonna do that. That's crazy. But like, we might be conditioning ourselves to not remember that other guys just do that. You know what I mean? Because we don't do it in our own lives, so we forget that like, oh, guys just do that all the fucking time.
A
Like, they
lot of
just like
people
they
ghost,
just
man. Yeah.
yeah, because
They just
they're
don't.
afraid of like ramifications.
Yeah, they're just scared. They don't know. Like, I don't take it personally. I used to get so butthurt, and I'd be like, "How dare this bitch just not even fucking reply to my text and tell me she doesn't want to see me?" Like, there's a
The
lot
way I
of
put it is
people
like
do it, and at some point,
girls sometimes can't find the strength to reply. Like they can't deal with it. Like they just avoid,
dude,
and the avoidance is like
dude.
silence.
Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you know this, but here you go. Here is your answer, ladies and gentlemen. This is your answer. This book is your answer when you are afraid to like tell someone that you don't want to see them anymore. Go read this book. It is called When I Say No, I Feel Guilty. This book will literally fucking help you be able to say, okay, hey, I don't want to see you anymore. Or I had fun. I don't want to keep going. But yeah, I understand why people ghost. I've done it in the past, like quite a lot of times. I don't hold any resentment for anyone else that does it. I get why people do it. They're just fucking scared, like you said. But how did we
Yeah,
segue into talking about ghosting? And anyway, that's
I
my
don't know.
future plans for the future. I don't plan on
You
ghosting
want
in
me,
the future.
so if I could find time, you do want me more involved. We'll go on that one. Like
Yep.
my ideal is like I've got some work on right now that's really good for me financially, but I think that I would prefer to be doing stuff that I have more say and control over the direction. And like, yeah, I probably have more say and control over the direction of like everything except for that. Like you would
Mm.
take me more serious. You would take my advice on the direction more seriously than I'm involved in other stuff, where I'm more of like a contractor. So it would be nice to have all of the projects I'm involved in, some that I own entirely, some that I co-own, and then something that you and I have been involved with like really early on. So that would be cool if I was like mostly focused on those projects. But like there's easy money. But by the way, guys who are struggling to, if you want to make money online, there is some easy money out there. Not easy. Easy is the wrong description. There is so much money out there to be made. Is the way I would describe it. And like you either have limiting beliefs or just an unawareness of like where the money is, and like most of the journey is finding where the money is, and then like just creating like a system to offer value so you get that. That's like all it really is. And that's I've made it sound simple there when it's actually incredibly long. It's actually quite a long journey for a lot of guys, and like complicated, and like overcoming limiting beliefs
It
and like
was
doing
for us,
scary
wasn't
stuff
it?
like cold
Yeah.
calling or like cold outreach or like like
Yeah.
putting content up. Like you can't look at Andy and be like, oh, you can, but if you look at Andy and be like, oh my god, I'm like jealous, like he's got all this stuff, he's like charging his price, like bro, like he has like 500 fucking thousand pieces of content up.
And it
Like
took
his dick is
5 years to
online.
get to this
Like
point. Yeah, it took me a
he got
year. It took me a year. It took me
he
a
had a
year after I said I want to earn $1 from my website. It took me a year to earn that $1, mostly because I was scared and had limiting beliefs. I could have earned
yeah.
that in like 5 seconds, but
And these guys
yeah.
didn't see the point where you were like super depressed because like 100 dudes on Reddit told you to kill yourself. Like they don't see that shit. Like I did. Like I
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had a fucking courtside seat for some of the shit. So like I do
Yeah.
see like how scary this was at times, like all of that stuff. And like yeah, it's like one of those things, like building the stuff is scary. It takes a time. Like you have to figure out a lot of stuff. You have to fail a few times. But like I do want to tell everyone there's a lot of money to be made out there. And like you can definitely go, if that's what you want, you can definitely go and get some of it. Like it is not, you're not just stuck like in whatever situation you have with finances and stuff like that. There is definitely opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. And it's about kind of like we talked about in a previous video where we talked about if you want to go out and talk to girls, it's for a lot of you just a permission thing. It's like, I have permission to start doing this. I have permission to take myself seriously and go talk to that girl over there. Same thing with business. Hey, man, it's like, I have permission to Google, how do I make money? I've done videos on this channel. There's a playlist. If you go into the playlist section, there's a money section. Go in there. I talk about, a bunch of different ways to start making money. But you're giving yourself permission to like follow, I don't know, fucking Alex Hermosi or someone. Just find a bunch of people that you like, buy their books or watch their free content and start doing this journey, start this journey. That's all I did. That's all you did. Like, it's just a permission thing. You're going to suck at the start. So give yourself permission to suck. Take some baby steps every day. Keep going. Like, you won't know what you're doing at the start. That's fine. But it is just a permission thing. There is a lot of money out there for sure. It's funny when people say like, but online, like YouTube or something is a saturated space. And it's like, it's not 100% saturated though. And that just means like you have
I
a
have a lot
lot
to
more
say about
people to
that.
learn from. Yeah, go.
Yeah, guys, guys are looking at like the sexy industries. Go for fucking boring industries. Go for like if you're talking about just you just want to make money and you don't really care how you do it. You're looking at Andy's stuff and like he went into dating coaching on YouTube, which is kind of like a sexy, interesting industry that a lot of people think they could do. Or like coaching and stuff like that. You look at like Hormozy and like he did like gym turnarounds. You're looking at
It looks
people who did like
glamorous.
had a huge impact and like really like yeah, these are competitive industries because everyone's fucking had the same ideas and stuff like that. You're looking at the people who've made it at the top of these like competitive. No, you can go to places where you just have to you can just sidestep competition entirely. There are loads of things out there that you can go and do in like unsexy, unboring places that will pay you a lot of money for a lot less work than you think it is when you obviously build everything up. There's my eyes have been open to like just how much actual opportunity there is out there. As long as you have like to some degree have your shit together, but also you don't even have to have that. You can just stumble around and get success anyway. Like it's just I've been so much more. I'm so much more hope pilled. They call it white pilled or whatever it's called. I know I'm about this stuff. Like even though the economy looks like crap and all that stuff, I don't whatever. It's noise, But like there's a lot more hope when you like open your eyes to like opportunity, which applies to fucking everything. Like open your eyes to how much opportunity there is in dating, how much opportunity there is in social life, how much opportunity there is in travel now compared to what it used to be. How much, what I mean? You have so much more opportunity than you think you do. And most of it is just opening your eyes to it.
And letting go of these shitty stories that don't serve you. Like, this is oversaturated. This economy is dead, blah, blah, blah. Do you remember what I posted on my approach anxiety log when I first started trying to talk to girls? Do you remember what I said about online dating? This is like, 10 years ago now. You remember what I said? Online dating is dead. That's what I said 10 years ago before I'd started this journey. When I was 28, I said, I guess that's 9 years ago, I said, online dating is dead. It's a scam. It's dead. Nobody uses it. It doesn't work. That was 10 years ago. Think of all the women that I've met since then, all the threesomes, all the beautiful experiences. I met Imogen, by the way, after I made that statement. I met her on Tinder. And so that was just that cute little voice in my head that was like, online dating is a scam. It's dead. You can't get any matches on there. Online dating is going to die and no one uses it. And it's all just full of bots and women wanting attention. I said that 10 years ago. And I said there was no future for online dating. How fucking wrong was that? What a stupid thing to say, a naive thing to say. And so when your voice comes in any of your heads that says, I can't talk to that girl, or I can't build this business, or I can't do that, it's like, just understand that you're very limited right now in your thinking, and that's okay. But there are opportunities out there. There always will be until the end of time, until the universe fucking folds in on itself and then starts again, and then whatever. God flicks the light switch and starts again. There are opportunities. Thanks for hanging out there with Cam and I. And if you would like direct access to Cam and to myself to be your personal coaches, along with Ed and Taylor and all the other members of the coaching group, right now is the perfect time. If you sign up in the next couple of weeks, you'll get $2,000 off the usual price, and you'll get an extra 4 weeks. Again, that is just for the next couple of weeks. I'll leave a link down below. You can jump on a free call with me. We can talk about your goals, what you want to achieve, how I and the other coaches can help you and push you to that greatness. Like I said, you get direct one-on-one access to me, Cam, Ed, and Taylor, we will push you to be the absolute best that you can be.